In the quiet corners of the human mind, shadows gather. They creep silently, unnoticed at first, but gradually they grow, casting a veil of unease and tension over every thought. Stress, often dismissed as a mere inconvenience, is in reality a profound psychological storm that can engulf the soul. It is the relentless whisper of doubt, the pounding echo of fear, and the invisible chains that bind us to anxiety and despair. Imagine a person standing alone in a dimly lit room, the walls closing in, the air thick with a suffocating weight. This is the internal landscape of stress, a place where the mind is trapped in a cycle of relentless worry and emotional turmoil. The heart races, breath shortens, and the body tenses, preparing for a battle that never comes. This is the fight or flight response, a primal mechanism designed to protect us, now turned against us in a modern world filled with chronic pressures. Psychologically, stress is not just a reaction to external events, but a complex interplay of perception, cognition, and emotion. It begins when the demands placed upon us exceed our perceived ability to cope. This imbalance triggers a cascade of physiological and psychological responses, from the release of cortisol and adrenaline to feelings of helplessness and overwhelm. The dark tones of stress are painted with the colors of uncertainty and loss of control. It erodes confidence, disrupts sleep, and clouds judgment. Over time, chronic stress can lead to serious mental health issues such as depression, anxiety disorders, and burnout. The mind becomes a battlefield where intrusive thoughts wage war against clarity and calm. Yet within this darkness lies the seed of understanding. To manage stress effectively, one must first recognize its nature, not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a signal to be understood. Stress is a message from the psyche, a call to action that demands attention and care. As a psychologist, I have witnessed countless individuals trapped in this shadowed realm. Their stories reveal a common thread: the struggle to regain balance and reclaim their lives from the grip of stress. Through these narratives, we begin to unravel the psychological mechanisms at play and explore pathways toward healing. In the next section, we will delve deeper into the cognitive and emotional processes that fuel stress, setting the stage for practical strategies to break free from its hold. As the shadows of stress deepen, the mind often feels lost in a tempest without a compass. Yet, even in the darkest storms, there are ways to navigate toward calmer waters. Understanding the psychological roots of stress is crucial, but it is the concrete actions we take that begin to dissolve its grip. Stress management is not about erasing stress entirely, an impossible task in a world rife with challenges, but about learning to respond differently, to regain control over our reactions and emotions. Here, I will guide you through specific, evidence-based steps that can transform the overwhelming tide of stress into manageable waves. 1. Awareness and mindfulness, the first light. The journey begins with awareness. Recognizing the signs of stress, the tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, the restless nights, is the first step toward change. Mindfulness, the practice of observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, acts as a beacon in the fog. By dedicating even a few minutes daily to mindfulness meditation or simple breathing exercises, you create a space between stimulus and response. This pause allows the prefrontal cortex, the brain's decision-making center, to engage, reducing impulsive reactions driven by the amygdala, the emotional center. 2. Cognitive restructuring, changing the narrative. Stress often feeds on distorted thinking patterns, catastrophizing, black and white thinking, or overgeneralization. Cognitive restructuring, a core technique in cognitive behavioral therapy, helps identify and challenge these unhelpful thoughts. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I will fail and everything will fall apart," pause and ask, is this thought based on facts or fears? What evidence supports or contradicts it? Replacing catastrophic predictions with balanced, realistic perspectives reduces anxiety and empowers you to act. 3. Physical activity, moving against the current. The mind and body are inseparable. Physical exercise is a powerful antidote to stress, releasing endorphins, natural mood elevators, and reducing cortisol levels. Whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, or a vigorous workout, moving your body helps dissipate the physiological tension that stress creates. Regular exercise also improves sleep quality, another critical factor in stress resilience. When the body is well rested, the mind is better equipped to handle challenges. 4. Social connection, anchors in the storm. Isolation amplifies stress. Humans are inherently social beings, and meaningful connections provide emotional support and perspective. Sharing your feelings with trusted friends, family, or a therapist can lighten the psychological load. Social support buffers the effects of stress by releasing oxytocin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and bonding. Even brief, positive interactions can shift your mood and outlook. 5. Structured problem solving, taking back control. Stress often arises from feeling overwhelmed by problems that seem insurmountable. Breaking down challenges into smaller, manageable steps restores a sense of control. Start by clearly defining the problem, brainstorming possible solutions, evaluating their pros and cons, and then taking action on the most feasible option. This structured approach reduces paralysis and builds confidence. 6. Setting boundaries, protecting your energy. Learning to say no and setting limits is essential for stress management. Overcommitment drains mental and physical resources, leaving you vulnerable to burnout. Prioritize tasks and obligations, delegate when possible, and carve out time for rest and self-care. Boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary for sustainable well-being. These steps, grounded in psychological science and enriched by human experience, form a toolkit for managing stress. They are not quick fixes, but ongoing practices that require patience and commitment. As we emerge from the stormy seas of stress management techniques, it is vital to understand that the journey is not merely about survival, but transformation. The shadows that once loomed large can become the backdrop against which your strength and resilience shine brightest. Stress, in its essence, is a teacher. It reveals the limits of our endurance, the fragility of our mental constructs, and the profound need for balance. Yet, within this challenge lies an opportunity to grow, to adapt, and to reclaim your narrative. The psychology of resilience. Resilience is not an innate trait reserved for a fortunate few. It is a dynamic process cultivated through experience, mindset, and support. Psychologically, resilience involves the capacity to bounce back from adversity, to maintain or regain mental health despite stressors. Key components of resilience include emotional regulation, the ability to manage intense emotions without being overwhelmed. Optimism, maintaining a hopeful outlook that challenges are temporary and solvable. Self-efficacy, belief in your ability to influence outcomes and affect change. Meaning-making, finding purpose and understanding in difficult experiences. By nurturing these elements, you transform stress from a paralyzing force into a catalyst for growth. Cultivating a growth mindset. A pivotal psychological insight is the power of mindset. Carol Dweck's research on fixed versus growth mindsets reveals that viewing challenges as opportunities to learn fosters resilience. When stress arises, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience strengthen me? This reframing shifts your brain's focus from threat to possibility, activating neural pathways associated with problem solving and creativity. The role of self-compassion. Often, the harshest critic in the battle against stress is ourselves. Self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend, is a powerful antidote to self-judgment and shame. Research shows that self-compassion reduces anxiety and depression, enhances emotional resilience, and promotes healthier coping strategies. Practice gentle self-talk, acknowledge your struggles without condemnation, and allow yourself grace in moments of difficulty. Embracing hope and purpose. Finally, hope is the light that guides us through the darkest nights. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, emphasized that finding meaning even in suffering is essential for psychological survival. Engage with activities and relationships that align with your values and passions. Set goals that inspire you and remind yourself that stress is but a chapter, not the whole story. Closing words, your journey forward. The path through stress is neither linear nor easy. There will be setbacks, moments when the shadows seem to reclaim their hold. But remember, within you lies a wellspring of strength, wisdom, and courage. By understanding the psychology of stress, applying practical strategies, and embracing resilience, you reclaim your power. You become not a victim of circumstance, but an architect of your well-being. Step forward with hope. The darkness is not the end. It is the beginning of your transformation. To truly master stress management, we must journey deeper into the inner landscape of the mind, where the roots of stress take hold. Stress is not merely a reaction to external events. It is profoundly shaped by our perceptions, beliefs, and past experiences. The role of perception and appraisal. At the heart of stress lies the process of cognitive appraisal, how we interpret and evaluate a situation. Two people can face the same event, yet one may feel overwhelmed while the other remains calm. This difference is not in the event itself, but in the meaning assigned to it. Psychologist Richard Lazarus described stress as a transaction between the individual and the environment, emphasizing appraisal as the key determinant. When a situation is appraised as threatening and beyond one's coping resources, stress arises. This appraisal process is influenced by past experiences. Traumatic or unresolved events can sensitize the brain to perceive threats more readily. Beliefs and expectations. Rigid or negative beliefs about oneself or the world can amplify stress responses. Emotional state. Anxiety or depression can color perceptions, making neutral events seem threatening. The impact of early life stress. Research in developmental psychology reveals that early life stress, such as childhood adversity or neglect, can shape the brain's stress response systems. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, responsible for regulating cortisol release, may become hyperactive or dysregulated. This biological imprinting means that some individuals carry a heightened vulnerability to stress throughout life. Understanding this helps foster compassion for oneself and others, recognizing that stress reactions are often deeply rooted and not simply a matter of willpower. The mind-body connection. Stress manifests not only in the mind but also in the body. Chronic stress can lead to muscle tension, headaches, digestive issues, and weakened immune function. The body holds memories of stress in subtle ways, sometimes expressed as unexplained pain or fatigue. Psychological interventions that incorporate body awareness, such as somatic therapy, yoga, or progressive muscle relaxation, help release these physical tensions and reconnect the mind and body in healing harmony. The role of uncertainty and control. A significant source of stress is the experience of uncertainty and loss of control. Humans have an innate desire to predict and influence their environment. When faced with unpredictability, the brain's threat detection systems become hyperactive. Regaining a sense of control, even in small ways, can dramatically reduce stress. This might involve creating routines, setting achievable goals, or focusing on aspects of life where influence is possible. This exploration of the psychological roots of stress deepens our understanding and prepares us for more nuanced approaches to healing. In the next block, we will weave these insights into practical, personalized strategies and explore how narrative and meaning-making can transform stress into a story of empowerment. Every human mind is a storyteller. We make sense of our experiences by weaving them into narratives that shape our identity and worldview. Stress, then, can be understood not only as a physiological or psychological state, but as a story we tell ourselves, a story that can either imprison us or set us free. The narrative mind and stress. When stress overwhelms, the mind often falls into repetitive, negative loops, stories of failure, helplessness, or doom. These narratives reinforce feelings of anxiety and despair, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. However, narrative psychology offers a powerful tool, the ability to consciously reshape these stories. By examining and revising the internal dialogue, individuals can alter their emotional responses and open pathways to resilience. Techniques for narrative change. Externalization, viewing stress as something outside oneself, a challenge to be faced rather than an inherent flaw. This shift reduces self-blame and increases agency. Reauthoring, actively rewriting the story by identifying moments of strength, courage, or growth that contradict the dominant negative narrative. Future projection, imagining a hopeful future where stress is managed and life is fulfilling, which motivates positive change. Case illustration. Consider Sarah, a woman overwhelmed by work stress and self-doubt. Her internal story was, "I am not capable, I will never succeed." Through therapy, she began to externalize stress as the pressure I face, not her identity. She reauthored her narrative by recalling past achievements and resilience during difficult times. Visualizing a future where she balanced work and self-care gave her hope and direction. The role of meaning-making. Finding meaning in stressful experiences transforms them from mere suffering into opportunities for growth. Viktor Frankl's logotherapy emphasizes that even in adversity, meaning can be found, which sustains psychological well-being. Reflective practices such as journaling, meditation, or dialogue with trusted others facilitate this meaning-making process. They help integrate stress into a coherent life story that honors both struggle and strength. This narrative approach complements the practical strategies and psychological insights shared earlier, offering a holistic path toward managing stress. In the upcoming block, we will explore how lifestyle factors and environment influence stress, and how to create supportive conditions for lasting well-being. Stress does not exist in isolation. It is deeply intertwined with the rhythms of daily life and the environment that surrounds us. To manage stress effectively, one must consider not only the mind, but also the broader context in which stress arises. The role of sleep and nutrition. Sleep is the foundation of mental and physical health. Chronic sleep deprivation exacerbates stress responses, impairs cognitive function, and weakens emotional regulation. The mind, exhausted and fogged, becomes more vulnerable to anxiety and negative thoughts. Nutrition also plays a critical role. Diets high in sugar and processed foods can increase inflammation and disrupt neurotransmitter balance, intensifying feelings of stress and mood instability. Conversely, a balanced diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins supports brain health and resilience, creating a supportive physical environment. Our surroundings influence our psychological state more than we often realize. Cluttered, noisy, or chaotic environments can heighten stress, while calm, organized spaces promote relaxation and focus. Incorporating elements of nature, plants, natural light, fresh air, has been shown to reduce cortisol levels and improve mood. Designing personal spaces that feel safe and nurturing is a vital step in stress management. The importance of routine and ritual. Humans thrive on predictability. Establishing daily routines and rituals provides a sense of order and control, which counteracts the unpredictability that fuels stress. Simple practices such as morning mindfulness, regular meal times, and consistent sleep schedules anchor the day and create psychological stability. Rituals, even small ones like lighting a candle or sipping tea mindfully, can signal the brain to shift into a state of calm. Digital detox and boundaries. In the modern world, digital overload is a significant stressor. Constant notifications, social media comparisons, and information bombardment overwhelm the mind. Setting boundaries around technology use, designated screen-free times, mindful consumption, and digital detoxes helps restore mental clarity and presence. By attending to these lifestyle and environmental factors, you create fertile ground for psychological strategies to take root and flourish. Stress is not only a battle of the mind, but also a dance of emotions. To navigate its turbulent waters, cultivating emotional intelligence and self-awareness is essential. These psychological capacities allow us to recognize, understand, and regulate our emotional responses, transforming stress from a chaotic force into a manageable experience. Understanding emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, popularized by psychologist Daniel Goleman, encompasses several core skills. Self-awareness, recognizing one's emotions as they arise. Self-regulation, managing impulses and emotional reactions. Motivation, harnessing emotions to pursue goals. Empathy, understanding others' emotions. Social skills, navigating interpersonal relationships effectively. In the context of stress, self-awareness and self-regulation are particularly crucial. They enable you to detect early signs of stress and choose adaptive responses rather than reactive ones. The practice of self-awareness. Self-awareness begins with mindful observation of your internal state. Notice physical sensations, thoughts, and feelings without judgment. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What triggered this emotion? How is this affecting my body and mind? This reflective stance creates a pause, interrupting automatic stress reactions and opening space for conscious choice. Emotional regulation techniques. Once aware, the next step is regulation. Techniques include breathing exercises. Deep, slow breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body. Cognitive reframing. Changing the interpretation of stressors to reduce emotional intensity. Grounding exercises. Focusing on the present moment through sensory awareness to reduce anxiety. Expressive writing. Journaling emotions to process and release them constructively. Empathy and social connection. Understanding your own emotions enhances your capacity for empathy, which strengthens social bonds. Supportive relationships provide emotional resources that buffer stress and foster resilience. The journey toward emotional mastery. Developing emotional intelligence is a lifelong process. It requires patience, practice, and self-compassion. Yet, as you deepen your awareness and regulation skills, stress loses its power to overwhelm, becoming instead a signal guiding you toward growth. The journey through stress is a profound odyssey, from the depths of darkness to the heights of resilience. As we stand at the threshold of transformation, it is essential to embrace the truth that stress, while formidable, is not invincible. Embracing your inner strength. Within you lies a reservoir of strength, often hidden beneath layers of doubt and fear. This strength is forged in the crucible of adversity and nurtured by every conscious choice to face stress with courage and wisdom. Remember, resilience is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to rise each time you fall. Each moment of struggle is an opportunity to build this resilience, to deepen your understanding of yourself, and to expand your capacity for growth. The power of choice. Stress may be inevitable, but your response to it is your power. You can choose awareness over avoidance, action over paralysis, hope over despair. These choices, repeated daily, weave the fabric of a life lived with intention and grace. A call to compassion. Be gentle with yourself. The path of stress management is not linear. It is marked by progress and setbacks. Self-compassion fuels perseverance, reminding you that imperfection is part of the human experience. Vision for the future. Visualize a future where stress serves as a guide rather than a tyrant. A future where you navigate challenges with calm confidence, supported by the psychological tools and insights you have cultivated. This vision is not a distant dream, but a reachable horizon, illuminated by your commitment to growth and well-being. The shadows of stress may have once seemed impenetrable, but now you hold the light. Use it to illuminate your path, to inspire others, and to live fully, not despite stress, but alongside it, transformed by it. Your story is still being written. Make it one of resilience, hope, and triumph.